from the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark. The apostles gathered together with Jesus and reported all they had done and taught. He said to them, "Come away by yourselves to a deserted place and rest a while." People were coming and going in great numbers, and they had no opportunity even to eat. So they went off in a boat by themselves to a deserted place. People saw them leaving, and many came to know about it. They hastened on foot from all the towns and arrived at the place before them. When he disembarked and saw the vast crowd, his heart was moved with pity for them, for they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. The Gospel of the Lord. Well, this past week, a major motion picture premiered across America, summertime blockbuster, The Dark Knight Rises. The third in the Batman trilogy. And it seems that summertime, interestingly enough, is a time when superheroes come out in great force. We have Spider-Man, we have Captain America, we have Iron Man, even Superman, and of course now Batman. What is it about superheroes that intrigues us? Well, certainly they have superpowers. And many times they use their superpowers to do good, right wrongs and correct injustices and help people. Sometimes with the recent introduction of superheroes in this day and age, we find them in some ways being a little bit more human, like, say, Peter Parker or Bruce Wayne. They don't have actual superpowers like, say, Superman or some of the Avengers that have actual somehow metaphysical superpowers, but they have clever inventions that help them to fight crime and be good and do good. And this comes, interestingly enough, with some interesting baggage, if you will. Of course, as Stan Lee, the creator of Spider-Man, says, with great power comes great responsibility. Many of the characters that we see now as being superheroes also have a very human and frail side, which also makes them very appealing and very interesting to us. Because although maybe we don't have or possess the superpowers or the powers that they have, we can identify with them trying to struggle just to be a good person, even in their non-superhero persona. In fact, one of the overarching concepts in the Batman series is that Bruce Wayne realizes that one man can only do so much, but an image can do a whole lot more. And so the image of Batman is more powerful than just one man who portrays Batman. Well, today in our gospel, we find Jesus, who is not a superhero, who is not a superstar, but who is the Good Shepherd. He is the Good Shepherd who has a heart of compassion and pity for the people who, sad to say, have been in some ways misled by the religious authorities in their lives. Religious people who should have had a tender heart for them, trying to bring them together and make them welcome, have unfortunately been more like wolves in sheep's clothing, and have scattered the flock. The flock is afraid, they're confused, and so now when Jesus comes, he is one who teaches with true authority, and he is very, very irresistible in his teaching. And so people flock to him wherever they can find him. So today we do encounter Jesus as the Good Shepherd, and he calls all to follow his message of love and compassion. In our readings today, in the responsorial psalm, we also encounter the 23rd Psalm, "The Lord is my shepherd." This is a very famous psalm. I remember as a child learning it, and I'm sure many of you as well have learned this psalm from an early age. It's also recited at many funerals and even some baptisms. So the 23rd Psalm tells us that the Lord is our shepherd. The 23rd Psalm goes on to tell us that all these wonderful things will befall us if we follow the Good Shepherd. He will prepare a table before us. He will anoint our heads with oil. He will lead us to verdant green pastures. Beside restful waters he leads us. He will protect us with his rod and his staff that give us courage. All these, and surely goodness and kindness and mercy will follow us all the days of our life. These are all these wonderful, if you will, promises that we encounter in the 23rd Psalm. But there is one small condition. And that is, when we recite the 23rd Psalm, we say, "The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want." How many times have we gotten ourselves into trouble when we, like, wandering sheep, have strayed far away from the shepherd? We've strayed far away from the flock, looking for things we think are going to bring us happiness and fulfillment and contentment, maybe even success and superpowers, perhaps. But we have to recognize that sometimes it's in wanting certain things that are outside of God's will that get us into real trouble. Unfortunately, as a prison chaplain, I have met many, many good people who unfortunately wanted something that was not good for them and got them in an awful lot of trouble. They paid a very high price tag for what they wanted, and unfortunately, it got them into a great deal of trouble. So today, when we recognize Jesus as the Good Shepherd, we also have to recognize our own needs and our own wants. The Lord will certainly meet all of our needs, but we also have to be careful that we don't want things that are outside of God's perfect will for us. We must have ears and hearts to follow after Jesus, who is our Good Shepherd. Well, I hope you got something out of that today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.